this is so important that we do this. Nobody else is documenting cases. And I just, yeah, we're not going to get anywhere until we do that. So I wanted today to kind of cover your journey with, your breast cancer and how you are and timing and where you carried your cell phone, in your bra, how you used it and that kind of thing. So I'll let you start.
Hello. So my journey with wearing my cell phone in my bra begins when I was very young. I had a cell phone. At first, I was 13 years old. So I was one of the first at high school, and it was very useful for me to carry it in my bra. It was really a small thing, always at the right side, because that boob is a bit less bigger. So I did that for, almost 10 years. It was really useful all the time where I was at school, because I was never wearing pockets, and I never had the habit to have a bag, to carry a bag for my things. So that's how I had my cell phone. And the other way I always carried my cell phone, it was in my car. In my car, I always had something to put my phone on, and it was just beside the middle of my thighs. And I think this is something important, because you'll learn later that I had a fracture here. It broke my bone, unfortunately, a year and a half before. So I'm pretty sure there's a link about that fact, because it was exactly where I had a big metastasis, unfortunately.
You had a big what? I missed the last part of that.
Metastasis. Is that the right word?
Metastasis, where the cancer had metastasized to?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So I've been diagnosed with breast cancer. I was 28 years old with a big, very big tumor of 13 by 15 centimeters on the right side. I had also 19 lymph nodes that were involved. It was also very hard to diagnose it, because it was a big tumor and not sometimes they told people, to see if there's a mass or something like circle. Me, it was really something rectangle. So I just thought it was normal to have one boob that was bigger than the other. But one day I saw a documentary on TV about breast cancer. And there were people of my age saying that if there's anything with your breast that is not normal, you go to the hospital. It's not normal when you're in your 20s or your 30s to have any change in your breast if you're not pregnant. And so that night I went to the hospital, because I knew that my breast was strange since about 2 weeks. And I've been diagnosed after biopsy with the stage of breast cancer.
Which stage is it?
It was a stage 3, because of the big thing and the lymph nodes that were involved.
So, Anik, one thing that researchers wrestle with so far in studying cancer, brain cancer in particular, and cell phones, is that they don't trust people to remember how often, how long, where, when, how they were on the phone, right? Which is a little different. This is my position, is that's a whole lot different from we women who tuck it in our bras, because we tend to know exactly, where, when, how long, how many days a week, and we know what side it's on because we're either right-handed or left-handed. So can you, you said you were 13, pretty young when you started. And was it like an everyday thing? Was it like for me, it was 24/7. Yeah.
Well, for me was at least all day at school, because it was the only way people didn't show me. At a young age, I was working, so I needed text with my employers and this kind of thing. And after at home, well, it was just natural also to keep carrying it until I removed my bra. I wasn't sleeping with it, so this is maybe why it wasn't there for the night. But at least 12 hours a day was there for a lot of years. And after also by my work, I've always worked on the road. I mean, it's easy for me to know for sure where I was carrying my phone, and I was using my Bluetooth on an everyday basis also, and for long times also from Monday to Friday.
Yeah, I can relate. That's exactly how I would describe it. I knew where it was. The minute I took it out of my bra and set it down, it was lost.
Yeah.
Or if I tried to carry it in my jeans pocket, it was in the toilet. You know? That's great. That's great. So what is your status now? How long has it been? Are you still in treatment? And
Yes, well, I'm in palliative care because unfortunately for stage 4 cancer, there's no treatment to cure that right now. So I had a prosthesis in my hip after my broken bone, and I'm on chemotherapy every day, and I am having a radiation therapy from time to time for my bone metastasis. So it's in progression now.
so you and I are really in the same boat. That's
Yeah.
where I am also. And it makes me so mad. Um, it didn't have to happen.
No, no, it didn't have to happen. Absolutely no. And I
Um,
remember that I was paying attention to not put my phone too much near my ear because I had heard it was dangerous for the brain. It was better to have the phone a bit further, but I never thought about, and I've never learned or read anywhere that it was not okay to carrying it on me. So I would have loved to have that kind of information for sure.
right. Yeah. Yeah. And actually, there is a warning buried in the fine print of the cell phone, but they don't want you to see it.
Mm.
And they have spent millions blocking legislation that would only have them put that warning where everybody could see it. They didn't even want to do that. So
Mm.
I'm mad. How
Yeah.
old are you now, Anik?
Well, I'm good. I've met I don't know what is the English word for you know, I've, there's a lot of thing you need to forget or to be okay that I'm not going to do this anymore, to do that. I'm not going to have kids and these kind of thing. And I've managed these psychological things. So I'm good on an everyday basis, but like you, I'm sometimes very mad, and I feel it's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not fair also that there's no cure to these cancer today.
Yep. Yep. Did you know that the companies in this industry warn their shareholders that this might be an issue in the future and might
Oh yeah.
affect the cost, the value of their shares? Why aren't the rest of us given the opportunity to assess the risk? It's our lives on the line, not
Absolutely.
not money. Um, so how old are you now? I mean,
I'm 33.
33. Wow. And when were you diagnosed with the metastatic part?
A year and a half, so it was on October 2020.
Okay, so we really are in the same boat. I'm about a few more months into it than that. Yeah, for my diagnosis.
And how are you?
Well, you summed it up beautifully. It's up here.
Yeah.
Is I don't I don't have any I don't have any secrets for how to compartmentalize it or deal with it other than to just almost ignore it.
Yeah.
Um, it sucks, and a lot of most people don't understand that.
Yeah.
A lot of people hear breast cancer and they say, "Oh well, you'll be fine. You'll get over it." My friend's been cancer free for 10 years. It's not for us.
Yeah.
Not for us. I hope I live long enough to see research that shows things like what kind of cancer resulted from this. I mean, my cancer's just like yours. It's a huge tumor, and which is part of the reasons why they didn't catch it, I guess. I don't know. But it's too much of a coincidence. It's the size of my phone, exactly where I kept it. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how you argue with that. But yeah, so one day at a time, huh? Yeah. Um, it's a journey. Yeah.
And I still hope that journey lasts very long.
Yes.
Even
Wow.
if
Yes.
I would have
Yeah.
maybe chosen another.
Yeah. And for me, doing this project has really helped me deal with, because something good can come out of it, at least.
Absolutely.
That's what I think. So I'm sorry we're in the same boat, but I'm so glad to meet you, and I feel like we maybe we'll make this journey together. That's great. I'm so moved here. I can't think of what else I wanted to ask you.
Sorry.
Dear me. Wow, you're so young. I'm sorry. do you know people? Do you run into people? Do you see people, women who tuck their phone in their bra? Some people say, "Oh, that's not a thing."
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't take that seriously. As long as they don't it don't hurt, they don't see anything, it's not red, it's not itchy, there's no pain, there's no problem, no pain, no problem.
Right, your phone isn't hot, what how could it be dangerous? It's
Yeah.
a phone.
I have three uncles, that are always wearing I don't know the English word, but the kind of vest that all men are wearing. And they had a pocket like near the kidney,
Mm-hmm.
where they always carried their phone. And the three of them got masses there.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Really?
Yeah. The three of them got the same mass, the same diagnosis in about 6 months. And they were all working on an everyday basis since like 20, 30, 40 years with that vest on.
Wow.
That's special too.
So have you three talked about, you said three uncles?
Yes, my three uncles, yes.
So have the four of you talked about this coincidence?
Yes, just yesterday we were at the restaurant, and I was talking about that meeting that we were going to have, and I was asking them how they were going, and they all made the link. Well, that's where I carried my phone too. That's where I carried my phone too. And there's one of them that was really shocked because it makes him feel bad that, oh my God, maybe I had causes my cancer. How did I not think about that? It was a bit sad for him.
I remember that feeling. I mean, as soon as my oncologist told me, right, how big it was and where it was, I said, that was my phone. And she looked at me and she said, "Oh, you could be right." And it's the sickest feeling in the world to know that you did it to yourself.
Mm.
But
yeah,
but we didn't know. And that's the issue.
Mm.
We ought to be allowed to know. And a lot of women and men, I think, haven't made the connection, just like your uncles, and the only way we're going to make a difference is to do this and talk about it.
Yeah.
The more people we get talking, the better. There are a lot of men with breast cancer, and you have to wonder because they carry it in their pockets. But, well, we're looking for people. The more numbers we have, the better. Send your uncles to our website.
I'll do for sure.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about it. But I made the test for the genes, and I don't have anything about what they know right now about the genes.
You don't
Right.
have genetic markers for breast cancer. Well, that's really the answer to the question, because that's what this breast surgeon was seeing at these young women that didn't have any genetic disposition. They're all under the age of 40, which breast cancer is quite rare. And then these weird tumors shaped. So we're Margot and, is working hard to identify stories. And so we're really glad that you joined us today.
Thank you again.
Yeah.